Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. I am here at the Toronto Botanical Gardens for the 2024 Toronto Bonsai Society's Fall Show and Sale. It is the 60th year of the Toronto Bonsai Society, so they have a special show this year, a curated show. And you'll see some trees from the Burlington show because a lot of people are members of both clubs. The opening ceremonies are about to start outside here.
Good afternoon. My name is Josh Chang and I'm the current sitting president of the Toronto Bonsai Society. It is my pleasure to welcome you today to connect people and plants. That'll be easier. To connect people and plants for the Toronto Bonsai Society's 60th exhibition and sale. The TBS recognizes the thoughtful care of the ancestral territories on which we practice the art of bonsai.
Anin Bojo, Se Gotan, Se Kwe Kwe Kinawea. Greetings, my relatives. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. 60th anniversary is a big one.
This occasion offers us an opportunity to thank our honored guests and judges, Bill Valavanis, bonsai artist and educator, Éric Auger, curator of the bonsai collection at the Montreal Botanical Gardens, John Walton, longtime member and practitioner with our club, along with Marianne Duhammel, curator of the Penjing collection at the Montreal Botanical Garden, who did a very fine job, I'm sure, assisting the judges. Our VIP guests who have taken time out of their busy schedules to come and bless our show. Ileana Fialo, Secretary, Board of Directors at FILAB, which is the Latin American and Caribbean Bonsai Federation. Matsunaga Takeshi, Consul General of Japan in Toronto. James Heron, Executive Director of the Japanese Canadian Cultural Center. Irene Folks, President of our sister club, the Toronto Japanese Garden Club. Ronan Bauer, partner at Moriyama Teshima Architects. MPP Stephanie Bowman, Don Valley West, and last but not least, Grandmother Kim.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I've lived in this area for about 30 years, and so call it home. And I have to...
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure being here and a real honor to stand over here and represent Moriyama Teshima Architects. This is a momentous occasion and an incredible place that is significant not only to your community but to ours as well.
Okay. Now at this time I'd like to present some tokens of appreciation to our judges and our honored guests. What we have here is a special commemorative pin. Bill, I was talking with your wife a little bit earlier about how pins are important to mark time and place, especially in the bonsai world, which is fantastic. My lovely team has created something that I think you might enjoy, as well as I hope everybody will take it as a token and remember.
Bill Valavanis. Éric Auger. Marianne Duhammel. Matsunaga Takeshi. Ronan Bauer. MPP Stephanie Bowman. together, can we?
It is very, very busy at the show today. Lots and lots of people here. No. Wow.
My collection? I have probably about 300 trees. Yeah, way too many.
Here is a Brazilian rain tree. A very large one and just beautiful. Check out the trunk on it. Brazilian rain trees get these kind of fluted trunks, which can sometimes determine the front of your tree, the way the trunk grows. So you got to leave all options open while it's in development. Just outstanding. Here's a Hinoki cypress. Very thick trunk one. This was in the Burlington show also. Wow. Here is a Stewardia. Very, very interesting trunks. Very flowing tree. Getting some fall kind of colors. And here is an Austrian pine. Twin trunk, windblown. Amazing trees. And here is a crab apple. You can see the small apples on it. Beautiful. Beautiful pot too. Wow. And here is my Sarissa in flower for the show, which is always nice. So there's the red soil, the red rocks, the zebra. And for the accent plant, I picked my lithops. The pot color matches the trunk of the Sarissa. Yeah, so that's my display for this year. Here is a Korean hornbeam. Very twisty tree. Kind of twin trunks or two trees kind of wrapped around each other. Spectacular looking. Just beautiful. And here is an American larch, two of them. Just starting to get some fall colors on it. The needles are turning their yellow color. Very old trees. Nice. Here is a large willow leaf ficus. Very dense canopy. Twisty roots. Lovely. Here's a blowy juniper. Tight foliage. Trunk with deadwood on it. Nicely prepared. Here's an adenium in a very interesting pot. It's got angels on it, I think. Wow. Here is a Japanese maple. Beautiful leaves. Really beautiful. Check out that root base. Yeah, just a gorgeous tree. Here's a Thuja occidentalis, a Penjing landscape. Wow, does that ever look good? Nice waterland Penjing. Very cool. Here's a Thuja occidentalis with a lot of deadwood on the trunk, just one live vein feeding the tree. Here's a Premna microphilia. Very small tree. Yeah, really, really nice. I like the roots. Branch structure is really good. Here's a Japanese maple in fall colors. Amazing. Beautiful pot too. Yeah, just amazing. Here's a Blowy juniper, a raft planting. So all the trees grow from the one which used to be the trunk, and it's formed new roots, and just a beautiful arrangement. Here's a viewing stone. Very cool texture and form to it. Really nice. We are here at Wayne Mallow's ceramic studio sales area. So Wayne's pots have changed a lot from when I last saw them. I would never guess they're the same potter. They're just amazing. So Wayne has started a new chapter where he takes clay from Manitoulin Island, where he lives. This is the raw clay. It's got full of impurities, everything in there. And it's then processed carefully with some additives to lower the firing point. Here's the clay, what it looks like. And then here's the natural color of the clay after it's fired. So it's just beautiful. It's almost the color of cement, of old cement. And just, yeah, wonderful. So you can see all the natural impurities in the clay, shines through and gives it patina. And I imagine over the years the patina will just keep getting better and better. So here's a look at some of his smaller pots. These all kind of have a metallic glaze on them. There's a... There's a picture of Wayne there. Oh yeah. Here's Wayne's journey. So these are all his chops from all the different years. So depending on what chop you have on your pot, you can tie down what year it was made. Wow. Yeah, the pots are just amazing. There's his chop. So you can find Wayne Mallow on Instagram. And he has websites where he sells his pottery. And here is the other sales area down here. This is a lot of club trees for sale.
If you ever want to show it,
and I'm staying out of this area because I do not need any more trees. Oh, look at that ficus. But yeah, there's incredible deals here. And they're selling pretty well every species. It's very popular. Yeah, and check out this bald cypress here. Very cool trunk. Tall tree. Yeah, just amazing.
Adrian, you don't need it. No.
Very busy in here.
Are you getting that?
I've got to leave before I buy anything. Here's one of the jades that I pruned up and then I gave away at the Toronto Bonsai Society auction. I think this was from Adam's collection. So it's alive and doing well, so that's good to see. Thank you. The judging of the show has finished and Mike told me to come out and look at my tree, and there is a ribbon beside it and it won Best Tropical of the show, which I'm very humbled. That's unbelievable. Here is a ginkgo biloba, just starting to get its yellow fall colors. Yeah, beautiful tree, a very natural style tree. Grand old ginkgo. Here's a small boxwood, a Kingsville boxwood. Very, very small. Excellent. Here is a Blowy juniper. Very mature tree. And here is a pitch pine. Another ancient tree. Here is a Thuja occidentalis, or eastern white cedar. Another ancient old tree. And here is a European boxwood forest. Oh, and there's a little deer in there. Wow, that really gives you a good sense of scale. Makes me feel like I'm in the bonsai zone. Yeah, what a wonderful forest. Very inspiring. Here's a Shimpaku juniper. Yeah. Very, very cool. Beautiful foliage on them. Nice pot too. Here's a Natal plum. This is an ancient one. Check out the trunk on it. Wow. Amazing, cascading. Here is Connor's root bridge. He's got it on a marble slab. Has this ever matured? It's just fantastic. Love all the roots. Yeah, it gives you a real landscape feel. Trees are looking really good. Very, very nice. Taking pictures. Here is the demo tree that Eric is going to be working on. So here is the before. And it's quite an old and beautiful tree. And here comes Eric himself.
How you doing? Because the only reference to vertical and horizontal are the soil line, and the verticals are where you display the tree. So the corner of a wall, tokonoma, any other color you're putting it in. So those are the main reference as, let's say, human thing. So straight lines, vertical, horizontal. All the rest should be organic. For those who do demos sometime, you know that you have to work wise. So there's a nice movement in a small branch at the top. I might use it to fill a bit on the other side that it's empty now, but I have other options and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. So usually I keep many branches for a long time during my work, and sometimes cut just at the last minute, or just I wait till I'm very, very sure I don't need much.
Blue Jay Bonsai is the official photographer of the show, so he's busy taking photos. Here's an update to the demo tree so far. So here's the final look at it.
Well, I can see that you might be behind too, like I can
yeah.
the negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very important.
Yeah.
And the one that's on the other side of the deadwood.
Yeah.
Let's look at it. Wow. Just looking at an image of the tree back when it had 2 trunks on it. Wow. So it's undergone a lot of changes. Look at that, eh? Here is a Shohin display, and this one, Best Shohin. Very impressive tree up top. Beautiful cedar. Nice. The musk maple, I remember this. This was at the Burlington show. And I think a trident maple. Wow. And I like the lights on the stands. I think it really adds. Looks great. Beside it is the native white pine. Really awesome. Here we have a Thuja occidentalis, or eastern white cedar. Lots of deadwood on the trunk. Very cool. And this is a Forsythia. Oh, I love that pot. That's really cool. Deadwood on the trunk. And there is a stone, a viewing stone here. That's beautiful colors and shapes. Here's a Japanese maple. Beautiful fall colors on it. Yeah, just wonderful. Very wide, spreading root base. Very cool tree. And here is a larch that's got an honorable mention. Yeah, cool structure. This is the one with the really, really rough bark. Here's a Korean hornbeam. Root over rock. Or roots through a rock. Yeah, it's really, the roots are really entangled around the rock. Yeah, very cool looking tree. And here is a jack pine.
It's nice when your family cares about you. I just got here just now. That was a terrible thing. My phone's still not working. How did it go?
Here's a weeping fig. Ficus benjamina. Very old and established root base. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Whitish trunks on it. A nice rounded canopy. Awesome. Here is a Japanese black pine. Very rugged old tree. Very light and delicate, evenly balanced. And for the accent is a viewing stone. There's a hint of color in it. Very nice. And here is a eastern white cedar, or Thuja occidentalis, that won best conifer of the show. And it is a very beautiful tree. It also won best Canadian tree at the US National Show last year. So it's becoming quite a famous tree. And it's a very rhythmic tree. It's very beautiful. And here is a smaller Thuja inspired by the tree we just saw. So a similar style. Totally different look.
Have you figured out, is it only the forest you're bringing tomorrow for the workshop? I haven't decided. So, I told Diane about the show.
And here is a burning bush. And it's getting some beautiful fall colors on it. And this will turn like scarlet red eventually. Just awesome. Very mature root base on it. Yeah, nicely displayed too. Here's a Sargent juniper.
Nice. Looking good.
Owned originally by Arthur Skolnick. Wow, so this is quite a famous Canadian tree. Oh, just beautiful. Here's a Cryptomeria. Kind of a flat top style. Lovely. And here is a Trident maple. Very, very large tree. At least large by my standards. And here's the nice wide spreading root base on it. Yeah, lots and lots of character on the trunk. Yeah, beautiful example of a Trident maple. And here is a common juniper. These, I believe, are native to this area, but they're not so common at bonsai shows. Yeah, so a little different foliage, a little looser growing habit. But you can see it's made into a very elegant tree. And here is a rough bark Japanese maple, getting some fall colors. Very, very cool, that rough bark. Really makes the tree look super old. Maybe it is old. Yeah, beautiful leaves. Fall colors, nice. And here is a blouse juniper. Lots of deadwood on the trunk. Elegant branch placing. Here's a North American larch growing on top of a tall rock. It's very, very natural, growing out of the crevice here. And it's an old tree. A very small pot too. Wow. Here is one of the main trees, Thuja occidentalis, or eastern white cedar. It is massive. Look at the size of the trunk on it. Sorry. Yeah, it's big, big, big. Here's a cascading eastern white cedar. Wow, has this got some movement on it? Look at this trunk here. Twisty, twisty, twisty. Ah, beautiful branches and foliage. Really nice. Here's a Korean hornbeam. A very mature trunk on that one. Nice roots. Small leaves. They're just starting to get fall colors. And here is a mountain hemlock. Very tall, slender tree, but very well developed. There's the crown up there, which I can barely reach. Down. Nice foliage pads. Lots of deadwood on the trunk here. And down into the pot, a round pot. Yeah. Here's a small Korean hornbeam. Very nice. Here's an eastern white cedar, or Thuja occidentalis. And it's undergone some big changes. There's a little in here that shows it in 2015, 2017, and then today. Looking really nice. And here's a Thuja occidentalis. A lot of deadwood on the trunk. The live vein goes behind and goes up into the branches and canopy. And a beautiful pot with it. Stand. Very nice. Here is a trident maple, and it won the best deciduous bonsai of the show.
It came with the, you know when you have a pop.
Small leaves on it. And the owner said normally he defoliates it 3 times in the summer. This year was only twice. So he said the leaves could go even smaller if he wanted. And there's the root base. It's very mature. And the trunk is like totally scar-free. Just a really good trident maple. Here's a large eastern white cedar. It got an honorable mention. It's very dynamic, this tree. Live veins that just flow. Custom pot with it. Yeah, it's just an amazing tree. Very wind blown.
So we're going to Jack.
There's a lot of collected cedars. Most of them are great, big, and impressive with that wood. But as you get older, you want something that you can move. I can't move half my trees. So I'm selling them, and I got too many.
So if any of you are ever in Rochester, you have to go and see Bill's Arboretum. It's really amazing. He has some of the best, probably has the best Japanese maple collection I've ever seen. At least here in North America.
Yeah.
Maybe in Japan.
No.
And most of them he started from just small
seeds or cuttings.
Yeah, seeds or cuttings.
Because you can control it that way. It takes a longer time. You don't always get big, impressive trees, but they're a finer quality. And the quality is more important to me than the size. So the tip of the cascade will be right about here. A little too young. But there's too much of a mess here because of pinching. And that's good, because it makes the plant healthier, more options for design. Which are the result from wood pinching and trimming. I can bend it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I like this thinner one.
Yes, you know why? It's at the outside of the curve. You don't want the secondary trunk to come from here around. It should be on top of the curve to make sense. So we're going to use this one. A nice dead hole.
Auction at 4 o'clock, and this tree will be auctioned off.
Where's the auction?
Right here.
Oh, right.
Along with
Shot of you on the tree.
Thanks, Bill.
You guys great job. You guys take one more?
They go underneath.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much.
People are gathering now for the auction of the demo trees. So there's one by Eric and one by Bill. So everyone's gathered in the room and the auction will begin. It looks like there's also some pots up for auction. Sarah Rayner pot there. Wayne Mallow pot. The tree. Wow. And the two main trees.
I'm just going to rest the glass there, and I learned a cool trick. Now remember, if this doesn't work, there's going to be a wet spot here, and we're all going to ignore that and look at the really nice Japanese craftsmanship and these lovely cedars. Yeah? Okay, so here we go. Hooray, thank you, 6 months. Now I've also learned one more trick with this, but I would like to repeat that first trick first, just as a warm-up. So I'm going to do the first trick first, and then the bestest thing I know how to do with this. So this, here we go, round, hooray! And, ooh, there we go, now we're talking. See, anytime you want to do that, that's fine with me. We were talking early, hands up is really nice. Also, if you want to swing your underwear, I will see that. Sarah Rayner's pot here, we're going to start at 100 again. This is, we've got 100 back there. No surprise. 200?
220.
220. See, this is a lot faster when you go, like, when we use big numbers. I think we've proven to ourselves that we know what these things are worth, so let's skip all the nonsense at the bottom and start at 700. Quite a sensible price, 700 right there. 750, someone? 750. You know, they really display well in pairs.
Isn't her? Tree and Kusamo.
That's right. 750 here. Who's got 800 for this? Yep, 800.
Here is an Amur maple in spectacular fall colors. Almost fluorescent reds and oranges. Really, really nice.
Yes.
Wow. Here is the famous Nick Lentz Blue Rug Junipers. They are just awesome. I love seeing these trees every time I see them. So I was talking to the owner. So both of these trees are Nick Lentz trees, but they were never together like this. So the owner saw them and he said they're perfect for each other. So he planted it as a pair of trees, and it's just, yeah. The one person said they're like two dancers in perfect harmony. Yeah, spectacular old trees. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's fantastic. Here's an American larch, slanting style. Ancient tree, very, very old, rough bark. Deadwood on the trunk that's hollow. Planted on a really unique slab. And a really nice structure to the tree. Amazing. And here is a ginkgo, and it's kind of in the flame style. So the multi-trunks and the getting some nice fall colors just starting on it. So these turn like a deep mellow yellow color, and then all the leaves fall off almost on the same day. And within a couple hours, they all fall at the same time usually. Cool pot on it too. Yeah, very nice ginkgo. Here's a Shimpaku juniper. Very nicely structured, an old tree. Beautiful root base. Some deadwood on the trunk, but very nice. Nice branch structure. Beautiful pot and stand. Very, very cool. Here is an eastern white cedar, or Thuja occidentalis, and a very twisty, sculpted by nature tree. An old tree. Lots of natural deadwood on it. Not carved, just carved by nature. And a beautiful pot on a wooden stand. And the foliage on it is just beautiful. It's not too dense, it's not too light, it's just right for displaying a thuja. Yeah, an amazing tree. Here's a North American larch or tamarack tree. A very large one, an old established tree, grown as a bonsai for a very long time. Massive root base on it. Yes, a very refined tree. Here's a Forsythia in its fall colors. Very thick trunk on it in a purple pot. So it gets yellow flowers in spring. So the yellow is the opposite of purple. So it probably looks really spectacular in flower. Here's a Japanese black pine, an ancient tree. Beautiful structure and form to it. Very nice moss job. Beautiful pot stand. Yeah, really nice tree. Here's an eastern white cedar, Thuja occidentalis. Very wind-blown directional tree. Lots of natural movement to the trunk. Deadwood.
This is a prostrate juniper, Juniper horizontalis. You've probably seen them in gardens around your neighborhood.
Yeah, what a spectacular tree.
They cover the ground just with, you would just step on it.
And there's a photo album
So the original creator
showing what it looked like when it was first collected.
Upright on a stake, like you might grow a tomato plant.
So compared to now, it's changed a lot. It's got style to it now. Here's an eastern white cedar. Very interesting tree. Very, lots of curves, deadwood, movement, taper. It's got everything, this tree, in a custom-made pot and stand. Yeah, fantastic. Here is a pear tree. And check out the bark on the pear. It's just fantastic. Very ancient looking, rough, a twisty tree with a beautiful canopy. Yeah, very cool. Here's a larch forest, and it's a small forest, but it's just beautiful. It's quite spectacular. It feels like a giant forest, even though it's small. And wonderful pot. And the trees are getting fall colors. So larch drop their needles in fall. They turn yellow, then kind of a straw color. And they all fall off for the winter. And then in spring, it regrows. And it's just, yeah, 4 seasons tree. They're spectacular. Here is an RAF Scots pine. And it won Best Tree of the Show. And you can see why. It's mature, established, old, and well developed. It's just outstanding. And it's in a beautiful drum pot. Yeah, so that's best in show. Well deserved. Here is a spruce, and I believe it's a white spruce. And again, a very ancient tree. Look at the bark on it. It's extremely rough and flaky. In a drum pot. And amazing. It's just amazing. Beautiful tree. Here's a Scots pine. Sort of a literati style with some cascading branches. Here is a Shohin display. So up top is a pine. I'm not sure what kind it is, but it's a beauty. Very natural style. Sort of a wind-blown pine. And down below is a firethorn or pyracantha. And it's got berries on it. Exposed root style. Beautiful pot. Over here is, I'm not sure what it is, in a yellow pot. Looking nice. And down below, again, I'm not sure what it is, but beautiful tree. And over here, I think this is an elm. Yeah, really, really nice. In a striped pot. So these trees are very small. Yeah, a beautiful display. And over here is another elm. Or it could be a Zelkova, I'm not sure. Fall colors on it. Beautiful mossing. Beautiful pot. And a really nicely developed tree. Yeah, so that is a beautiful Shohin display. And here we have an eastern white cedar. Wonderful. Really nice branch structure on it. You see the branches look awesome. Old developed branches, not young ones. They have maturity to them. Here's a barberry. Beautiful pot for the fall colors. Old trunk. Here's a Shimpaku juniper. Cascading branches on it. Nice crown. Some deadwood on the bottom here. Yeah, beautifully developed tree. Here is a Japanese larch. So a very well-structured tree, an old one. There's some deadwood on the trunk that the owner said he might hollow it out. And it's getting its fall colors. Here in the window is a thuja. Planted on a slab. Beautiful moss. It's like velvet. I don't know if you can see it in the light, but yeah, a very ancient tree. Lots of character on it. Really cool. And there is a viewing stone here. It looks like a wave almost. It's very sculptural. And this was totally natural, collected in Ontario here. So it's just amazing what you can find. Here is an American larch. Cascading branches, a tall, graceful tree. And old. You see the character on the bark. Makes my larch look very young. Here's a willow leaf ficus. Kind of a sumu trunk and fat roots. Really sits nice in the pot. And a nice rounded canopy on it. Good, healthy looking leaves. Here's a Chinese juniper. It's got half the trunk is deadwood, wrapped with a live vein. Very nice, mature looking branches. Here's a dwarf Japanese yew, Taxus. Beautiful mossing and a very interesting trunk. Lots of movement and interest in it. Yeah, very nice tree. Here is the winner of the avant-garde category. This is originally composed by Nick Lentz, an American bonsai artist. So it's a root over statue and it's a North American larch tree. Very mature tree and beautifully displayed. Here's the Demon's Demon. It's a root over ceramic sculpture. So there's a demon head sculpture there. And then the tree echoes the design of the sculpture with the horns. And this is also a Nick Lentz original composition. Beautiful. And here is a Canadian legacy tree. This is the one that survived through World War II in Canada here, out west. And there is a whole history behind this tree. Amazing. Here's a Japanese maple. Very large tree. A beautiful pot. And I bet it looks nice with the light shining through the leaves. Yeah, and it's getting some beautiful fall colors on it. Yeah, it's really nice. Here is a Shohin display. So it's got an honorable mention. So up top is a Mugo, a mountain pine. A beautiful one. It's amazing. Over here we have an American larch. Again, a wonderful tree, pot and stand. Down below that is a Thuja occidentalis. Really cool, I love this tree. Thick trunk, nice canopy, lots of character. And over here is a holly, and it's got berries on it. Fall colors, losing its leaves. And beautiful pot and tree. Really cool. Up top is a potentilla. They're native to Ontario here. So I imagine this is a collected one. Amazing trunk on it. It's getting fall colors. Some of the branches have lost their leaves already. Really nice. And then there's another plant here that's amazing. Wow, look at that pot. That is cool. It's got neat feet on it. Yeah, really nice. So that is the Shohin display that got honorable mention. It is very, very outstanding. Up here is where they are photographing the trees. Hello guys, hard at work? So this is the setup for photography. Amazing, a professional photographer who knows what he's doing. And I've seen a few previews of the photos and they just look outstanding. A good photograph can make the tree look even better than it does in real life sometimes. So there's the computer that they review the pictures. So they've been hard at work for the last 2 days photographing all the trees in the show, and there's a lot of trees. And they're not small, so they're getting their exercise. Thanks guys. As a special treat for the 60th anniversary of the Toronto Club, Éric, Marianne, and Vanessa brought down trees from the Montreal collection, and they're in the back row here. So let's have a look at them. So there is a white spruce here, a very ancient white spruce, and you can see it's in the wind-blown or directional style. You can imagine the wind blowing in. Yeah, very nice, like a tree you'd see on a coastal area, shaped by the wind, in a beautiful pot. Kind of a mustard yellow pot, and old bark. Wow, what a treat to see this tree. And the estimated age is about 105 years old. The accent plant for the white spruce is very interesting. It looks like that chain link fence wire, and there's a floating sphere of moss and a clump in a pot here. And it's very cool. It's very dynamic and yeah, and unique. So that is cool to see. Here is a dwarf Arctic birch Penjing, a waterland Penjing in a marble tray pot. So these Arctic birch they get super miniature leaves, and they're, yeah, you see them used in forests a lot. I don't see a lot of specimen trees by themselves, but they're out there. Yeah, so this is beautifully structured. Yeah, a beautiful planting. Here is an eastern white cedar, another tree full of sculptural details, all done by nature. Yeah, amazing, beautifully structured branches in an awesome pot on an awesome stand. And this tree was originally David's from the Toronto Club, and it was donated to the Montreal collection. So it's back home for this weekend, and it'll head back to Montreal, well, I guess tonight. The next tree, we'll start with a picture from Wu Yi-sung's book. And I believe this book was published in either the 70s or 80s. So here's what the tree looked like back then. And now here it is many decades later. So this is a Chinese hackberry. And it is just, it's breathtaking, this tree. It's old, mature, well developed, well maintained. It's just, well, it's, like I said, it's breathtaking. Here's the base of it, and it's a large tree. Not real large, but it's on the large side. And it just character in every branch, every bit of the trunk. This tree is developed, you know, with a lot of care and attention to details. Yeah, very impressive. One of my favorite trees of the show. And it's in a beautiful pot on a really cool stand. an old stand matches the ancient look of the pot and the tree. Very inspirational. The last of the Montreal trees is a tamarack or American larch. And this is a very large tree. Here's my hand compared to the trunk. So you can see it's a giant of a tree. And it's in a beautiful pot. I just love this pot. For a large pot, it's just outstanding. The form of it, the color, everything. And yeah, a beautiful tree. Deadwood on the trunk. Very cool. Here is the trees and training section. So on the end here is a larch. And you would think, why is this in the trees and training section? Well, you can see there's some techniques being applied to it. A guy wire pulling the one branch down. There may be, you know, some areas that are being left to grow to gain vigor. So trees in training doesn't necessarily mean it's a young tree that's not well developed. It just means that it's not show ready. It's being developed to become a show tree, I guess, eventually. Beside the larch is an English oak and very tiny leaves on it. And it's being developed, so you can see there's one branch growing out really long here, and that'll thicken up that branch. And I imagine it'll get pruned back eventually, probably to some of these branches near the trunk line here. So trees in training section is it's very important because it educates people on how you get a good looking tree, the techniques involved. And I always find it interesting to talk to the people that have trees here in the trees in training section, because you can learn about their vision for the tree and how they're achieving that vision for the future. And here is an eastern white cedar, and it's in a really, really cool pot. Check out that pot. It's got like a cool lip on it and a really cool tree. So this tree, you can see it's just oozing with character. And it's in the trees and training section because it's not quite there to become a show tree, but I'm sure it will in a few years. It's got all the makings of a really excellent show tree. And here's a Ficus benjamina, and it's in a beautiful pot. Twisty tree, almost like a descending branches or trunk line on it, and then a nice rounded canopy. It looks really healthy. It's looking really good. And it's fairly old because you can see the white color on the trunk there. So it's not a young tree, but it's being developed very well. And here we have a Penjing, a stone land Penjing, I guess you'd call it. Very interesting stone with moss. Very nice. Behind that is I guess it's a twin trunk tamarack. One root base, two trunk lines. And again, it's in training, being developed as a future show tree. Over here, I believe this is a larch. The needles are very small and it's dense, so it could be a cryptomeria. I'm not sure, but it is really looking good. And in the corner here, we have an apple tree, and you can see there is an apple on it that is a fair size, hanging off the branch. Is that ever cool? And the apple looks pretty good. It looks like it's ready to eat. So that's very cool to get an apple on a small tree like this. Here's the poster for the Montreal Botanical Gardens bonsai collection. Here is Chris Hendry's vendor display. He's got fantastic trees, Brazilian rain trees, a Green Island ficus, a bit of everything. Soil down here, lava rock, all kinds of cool stuff. He's got all these excellent pots, Japanese pots, handmade pots, fantastic pots.
Five buds in that location. So pines,
prefer to grow apically from the tips, so you'll get the strongest bud from the tip, but they have the capability to put a bud out wherever there's a needle, advantageous bud shooting.
Well, we have a whorl of 3 with a heavy branch and another heavy trunk. So we tend to want to choose something that will help build taper out to the tip. The tip of the bonsai should be the skinniest point, going back to the heaviest point at the base.
The 60th anniversary bonsai show has come to an end, so I'm heading home. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.